Hey, how's it all going out there in YouTube land again? And yeah, back for another episode in the old garage. And what we were going to do today? Been following the channel of late, depending when this gets uploaded or whatever. Been making the old folding knives, and yeah, ended up making 7 in the end, and pretty much got my processes sorted there. So I'm happy with that. So what you won't see is I've just finished that little thing there. Don't know if I'm happy with it or not, but anyway, that's done. So I've come up with another idea. And I think I'm going to make myself something, I'll call it a pig sticker. Will I ever stick a pig with it? No, probably not. It's getting a bit long in the tooth for the old humping through the bush and doing all that sort of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, the idea, what am I thinking, what I'm going to make is try something I haven't done before. And I've been on the CAD and got myself a bit of a pattern, got a bit of leaf spring, and I think I'll see what comes up. So what I'm thinking, we've got the old classic, might have seen that, the old 12-inch Bowie, made many years ago, probably one of the first knives ever made. But again, it's a bit of overkill for me now, so I can sit in the box. I've got this old other thing here I made many years ago as well, made for fishing, to be fair. Pretty big fish, you might think, but anyway, just another idea, something I did. What I want to try and do is get something, it won't go on, yes it will, in between those three. I'm going to call it a pig sticker, like I said, but I want something a little bit versatile for carving meat. I'm going to go to quite a fine point on the end there, and try and put a taper on there and a taper on there and do all the stuff you have to do. So that's what we're going to have a go at. Take this leaf spring and craft that out and see what we come up with here. Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. So here we go. The old processes, or my process. I'm not telling you how it should be done, just telling you how I'm going to do it. I could glue that on there, but I'm not going to. I want to get the most out of my leaf spring as I can, because they're getting a little harder to get nowadays. Usually I just use offcuts, stuff thrown away, whatever I can get. So I'm not really going to fit those on there. So what I'm thinking with that is I might take and do the old classic across there, just straight like an old, I don't know, whatever you call it. Might do that. So I'll put that over to there. What I'm going to do is mark it out with the old white marker, roughly. Then I'll cut out the basic profile with the, what do you call it, the angle grinder, and then I'll anneal it, straighten it, and we'll work from there. So the reason I use a white marker is they're not very reliable, but let me think. Yeah, I think we'll go there and we'll just put some brass on or something. We'll make something up for a bolster. We'll figure that out later, but I'll put that on and mark around it. The white marker is when I start cutting it and everything else. It will stay on there with the heat, yeah. Glue's probably a better option, like I said. I'll leave a little bit extra on the point because I'm not sure how that's going to come out. It'll just be a rough cut to start with. Spring steel, if you've never worked in it before, these videos sort of geared to the beginner, I guess. So that's sort of what I am. The old stock removal. We'll put that here just for fun. Yeah, spring steel tends to have a bit of a memory sometimes. It's a bit hard to keep this spring out of it. You don't really know what this steel is, or I don't. So we'll just go through the process and hope for the best. So there we go. There's our mark. We'll grab out the old 5-inch grinder, cut her out, and we're into it. Nice. Rightio, we'll stick her in the old forge. What I'll do is heat her up naturally. You probably already know this sort of stuff. I can turn the gas bottle on and let it cool down as slow as I can. It's a little bit big for this little forge, but got to do what you got to do, yeah. It's all I've got, so I'll make it work. Yeah, I'll just heat it up and close it down, and I think and then I'll do some profiling here. So we'll go that way, due to the fact that we need to drill some holes in the tang, and I'll try and give it a straight and all the rest. Oh no, that'll work. Right, let's fire it up, let's do the business. Well, that doesn't look good. Rightio, that's that done. We'll leave it in there to cool down. Probably take an hour, maybe longer. Oh, it's hot in here now. And yeah, go and do something else. Rightio, here we are. So I don't know how well it kneeled. Yeah, it's biting in a bit. A little bit big for the forge, like I said, but chuck it in the old blade breaker here and we'll give it a bit of a straighten, eh? Nice. Took a little bit longer than I thought, but yeah, that's good enough for now. So yeah, what I'm going to do now, I might surface grind that on my little attachment. It won't be too bad. There's a little kink in that end there, but yeah, that'll come out. That's not too bad. It's going to reduce in size a little bit, so it's all good. Let's go to surface grinding or rough pattern or whatever. You'll see. Let's do it. So now I'm just going to mark out the rough profile. Probably going to make that straight through there, to be fair. Yeah, but rough enough's good enough for this minute. As with all my custom knives and pretty much every knife I make, they evolve as they go. So what I'm going to have to do is get that brass slotted out. I have to make it thinner here so I can slip that right up to there on the final thing. But that's all good. We'll work on that. Yeah, so I'm going to mark out some holes on the drill the tang and then we'll grind the bevel in. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work for now. Of late, my bevel grinding seems to be getting worse the more I do. But anyway, we'll work on it. It's all learning. We'll get there. if my memory serves me right, which I would have just seen, was me just caking off the, just roughing off that bevel edge there, just roughly with a 46, I think, grit Cubitron. A bit of Cubitron. Anyway, just a bit easier on my wheels once I've hardened it. But now, I'm going to chuck it in the old forge and give it a harden, and we'll give it a temper, and then we'll grind the bevels in. So yeah, let's do it. Thank you. So that's hardened up all right, hopefully. Let's go to 4. So here we go with that. Yeah, nearly got it wrong. Take the lid off your oil first before you poke it in. Never mind. Yep, that's good enough. So into the oven she goes for 2 2-hour cycles. If it'll fit. Yep, no worries. All good. So there it is. If you're looking down there, that's what we're up to now. That's come out of the tempering oven pretty good. You've seen most of what I've done there. I'll put a few notches in there, which I'll explain later, and put a thing in there. I'll explain that in a minute or later or whatever we got to do. So now it's time to think about what we're going to do for a bevel, yeah. And sounds pretty simple, but yeah, there's a little bit more to bevels than meets the eye. And like I'm saying, my bevels, yeah, seem to be getting worse of late, so I'm going to take a bit more time and put a bit more effort into it, I guess. So what am I trying to achieve? There's one thing I'm going to have to take some time and ponder this, I feel, and give it a bit of a thought. Originally, I said I was trying to make a pig sticker, or I might not have said that, but that's what I was thinking. So what I would need to do to be a pig sticker, or don't really know, to be fair. This one here, which we showed earlier, this thing here, I call it a 12-inch Bowie, but it's not. It's actually, blade's about 8 inches. I was thinking that was going to be a little bit short, but this one here has slayed a massive hog. Not by my hand, but yeah, that's another story. I was out with some guys doing a bit of pig hunting, and yeah, he stuck a pig with something that was probably just a little bit longer than that, probably about 6 inches. Pig got up, had a go at him and his dogs and everything else. So I got him that one there in the heat of the moment, and yeah, that definitely did the business, no problem at all, no worries. So, but this one here, you probably can't see quite in there. This bevel here is slightly a scalloped grind, I think they call it. It's slightly, yeah, done like that, scalloped in there. Not intentionally, it's just how it worked out, but that's been an awesome blade over the years. Don't use it now because I've sort of put it away, but slightly scalloped in here. So it's sort of an S grind, I would say. This here is slightly convex, but yeah, cuts like a dream, does all sorts of things. I've filleted fish with it, done all sorts of things. So that definitely works. You can see here, I do like the drop points like this here. This old beastie here, sort of the same, but I've only taken the bevel halfway on that, and I put a bevel on the top as well. But that's not sharp, that's just tapered in there. So it's quite thick through this profile here, so the point doesn't snap off, and it's sort of like a bayonet on the end, where it's got still quite a bit of meat in there, and that cuts pretty well and does the job as well. So that's really good. So I was using this one here yesterday, cutting up a bit of meat and then did some veggies with it. And I'm not sure exactly what's happened there. That's got a bit of a convex grind going on the bottom here, because to be quite fair and quite honest, it released veggies and did all that better than my chef's knife or whatever I made. So there we go. So that's not a bad one either. Don't really know enough about to know exactly what I was doing. So what I'm going to try and do here, and I may do it today, I may do it another day, I'm going to try and do a bit of a cross between that. This one here is a flat grind with a little bit of a notch on top. I haven't used that one yet, so I'm not too sure about that, but I'm going to try and do slightly hollow and try and keep it a little bit like this. So this here I'll try and do a little bit hollow, and I'll try and do that a little bit hollow on top. I'll probably bring that notch back to about there. So I'll bevel it up to probably just over halfway and do that. So like I say, or might not have said, there's quite a lot of meat to hog out of that. At the moment, that's about, let's get a roll and have a look. Ooh. Yeah, that's about, it's about 5 mil, 5.5 mil thick. And this one here is a bit of a beastie. You've seen that's actually quite a, I don't know where I got that steel from, but it's nearly 10 mil or whatever that is in inches. And what I've actually done is tapered it down. It's got a bit of a bend in it, but like I say, this was made 40 odd years ago, and I've ground that out to about 6 mil. This one here I actually did with a 5-inch grinder and a gas torch. I didn't have any fancy gear at all. Just blazed it out. Holds an edge like a demon. It really is an amazing sort of thing, I think. Anyway, my favourite knife. Anyway, that's another story. So we'll carry on. What was I saying? So yeah, I'm going to try and keep the thickness here. I'll take as much out of that as I need to, and out of here as well. But I'm not going to taper it or anything like that, like I have with that one there. You could see, if you can see that in the thing, it's quite a bit thinner there than it is there. So anyway, that's what we're up to now, bevel grinding. I might split this video into 2 parts, 3 parts, who knows. So from there, we'll, yeah, we'll go and do some pondering, have a bit of a think, and we'll see what we come up with, yeah. Radio party people, I think I'm going to call it there. Call this part 1. Yep, so we're up to there, as you've seen. Got ourselves a nice little profile shaped out. Put my file guide on and put a few lines that I'm going to work to, yeah. Going to try and put another scallop bevel on it, as it were. I was going to use this. This is my platen I made up for doing scallop grinds. I think that's what they call them. The only problem with this is that too much surface area here and it gets too hot. So what I've done, which you'll probably see in the next video, is I've gone and put on the old 8-inch contact wheel. I'm going to give it a lash with that. I'm not 100% confident with my bevel grinding at the moment, but we'll give it a go and see what we can come up with, yeah. We've got plenty of material. If we get it wrong, we can taper it out. And yeah, if I get it totally wrong, I probably won't upload this video, but we'll see how it goes, eh? So we'll give that a go. We'll call this a day, call this part 1, and I hope you've enjoyed it and having a really good time. So without too much more jibber jabber, we'll call that one there. And yeah, thanks for watching.